to the Wrestling Still Cool podcast. My name's Cam. That's Mark.
Appreciate y'all joining on in.
All right. Before we get into it, you can follow us on Twitter at WrestlingSCool. Go ahead and take it over for the rest.
For Instagram, it's at Wrestling Still Cool. Facebook is at Wrestling. Oh, Facebook is Wrestling Still Cool. My bad. TikTok is at Wrestling Still Cool 90. You can get us on email at WrestlingStillCool@gmail.com.
All right. Well, this one's going to be a retro review. It's the 2005 No Way Out. Actually, I would really like for them to bring back this pay-per-view name. I think it would be kind of good to have a mixture of different cage matches in it.
Why not? That should. I like the No Way Out concept. Absolutely. Makes a little better sense than some ways a chamber being in February. But anyway.
Honestly, they could bring in the chamber on February and have it be part of the No Way Out.
I'm fine with that too.
No Way Out of the chamber.
Well, I mean, I guess the chamber name is what I'm kind of getting at. I don't like the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view name. That's what I was more or less aiming for.
It's a gimmick pay-per-view name, just like their Fatal 4-Way and all that. And I guess technically Survivor Series falls under that as well, but Survivor Series is something completely different on its own.
Oh, yeah, you can't get rid of Survivor. They're trying to get rid of Survivor Series. I don't know. This is years ago. It's been a long time. And fans spoke up about it, and they said, okay, we're going to keep it the way it is. I'm like, if you could do that with more subject matters, we could be in a different... yeah, but I'm glad they kept Survivor Series. But they should bring back No Way Out. Apologize for a little coughing there. You got allergies dealing with. So
yeah, just it would be nice for them to bring it back. It's a good title of the name, just like No Mercy and a few others. So
absolutely.
Or even St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Absolutely. I wish they'd bring back keep it going as they brought it back for a minute. Their Backlash. I should never got rid of that pay-per-view, and then they brought it back, and I don't know what they're going to do for this year or not.
So here's something funny.
I like Backlash. Backlash was great for after WrestleMania.
Yeah, it would have been good. Honestly, Backlash could fall in under any of the big fours. You know what I mean? You could technically put Backlash after like a Royal Rumble, or you could put it after a Survivor Series, a WrestleMania, man, what's the summer one? I'm losing I can't remember the SummerSlam. I almost pulled a Jeremy Piven and called it Summerfest.
I mean, it could fit behind. I just feel like it did great, perfectly behind Mania, honestly. But that's just my 2 cents. But yeah, either way.
Yeah, either way. This took place on February 20th, 2005. At the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, or out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I found it ironic here because originally we were going to record this episode on February 20th. So things happen. Either way, so the card, we had a few things going on here. First match on the card that was on the network version. I have to specify this because there was a dark match that did not air. But we had Eddie Guerrero against the Basham Brothers. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio. Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio versus the Basham Brothers. That is my fault.
That's all good. I also liked the Basham Brothers as a team back in the day. I mean, they're good heels. Didn't like them for the heel hype, but as performers, they were good. I enjoyed watching them, and they're a pretty good team, and they had a good run.
Yeah, they had a pretty good run, and they're the innovators of the twin magic that the Bella Twins brought in years later. Yeah. I only mentioned that because they actually tried to do twin magic against Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio in this match, and Eddie Guerrero outsmarted them.
Yeah, there were some few tricks under few tricks that they tried, and of course Guerrero did his usual lying, cheating, and stealing, which worked out just fine. I enjoyed the commentating team on that part too.
Yeah. Like it looked like Guerrero was going to go for a frog splash. He knew I'm not going to keep track of which Basham was in the ring at that point, but the Basham that was injured rolled out of the ring, and the good one rolled in the ring and laid in the spot. Guerrero saw it, got up from the thing and acted like he got hurt and laid down, and then when the Basham brother went to go get him, he rolled him up for a pin. Didn't get the pin, but still he outsmarted them. And that's one of the things we kind of miss from wrestling nowadays. You don't really have a character that buys completely into, I'm going to outsmart you.
Yeah, it's not just a very often thing. And you talk about keeping up with the names. I don't do very well with the name stuff as far as if they're family or they look familiar or similar. If I can spit it out right, the Bashams look obviously very similar. I had a while till I could figure out the names on the Young Bucks, which one was which, because I was not invested into them at first for a while there, but then I finally got to them a little bit more, and then I'm trying to figure out their names for a while there. So and it goes for different teams out there that you try to see the differences. Jay and Jimmy, took me a while, so I'm going to try to figure that out when they get back together. But they had long hair, it's all similar look.
Yeah, it doesn't apply anymore. For Jimmy and Jay, there was a tattoo difference that I was able to determine which one was which. But now that they got completely covered in sleeves, it's a little bit more hard to determine them. Doug and Danny, I had a hard time keeping track which one was which. The Bucks, I actually got down kind of early, just because a different hair color helps. With the Brie and Nikki Bella, one is more chestier.
Yeah, that's how I was able to tell a difference there too. I don't mind telling that difference.
yeah. One was a little bit more chestier, so you can easily figure out which one's which. Either way, Guerrero and Mysterio pulled this out. Mysterio even hit a 619 from around a turnbuckle. I don't remember this pay-per-view very well, but I don't recall him ever doing that again, actually, where he swings around the turnbuckle pole and gets the 619.
I thought he did it, not like a lot, he did a few times. Most notably, I can remember him doing the Big Show. I think that is actually I could be wrong, but it might have been at a No Way Out pay-per-view, but if not, it might have been at SummerSlam. I'm trying to figure out which one it was. But he had done that at pay-per-view for, and it wasn't a very often situation, but it was cool when he did it.
Yeah, it was one of those that I saw it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch a replay on that one. I can't.
Yeah.
One, I am surprised he didn't fall down, but just it's innovative. It's not something you just saw him do. What'd you end up rating this one?
Give it a 6.5.
And I gave it a 7, actually. I was more entertained by Eddie Guerrero than anything else. Basham, they're 9. Okay in the ring.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Basham. Yeah, I thought they were good. I mean, I said I liked the run, and they were good. I mean, they showed up even more. Obviously, when they were put into a pretty strong angle, or something entertaining. Obviously, but I thought they had a pretty good run and within their time with the company. So I believe they showed up later on in TNA, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so too. I some reason remember them there. I don't think they went by the Basham brothers though. I think they went.
I think it was something else. I believe. I could be mistaken on some of that. Yeah. That was a good match. Yeah. So they had new champions too, new tag team champions.
Yep. The Guerrero and Mysterio became tag team champions there. The next one. Now, my feeling is there's a wrestler that's kind of underrated in this next match. It was Booker T versus Heidenreich. And the person I think is actually underrated is Booker T. I don't think anyone within the WWE really gives him his due of what he was, especially when he was active.
Yeah.
Roster. Booker, he had a unique build. He was one of the guys that could move pretty quick while also maintaining. I think Booker was like 6'4", 6'5", and had a good muscle build on him as well. And he was able to kind of have a similar moveset to someone like The Rock, but also be able to do jump moves and moves off the turnbuckle, which The Rock really didn't do.
Yeah, I thought Booker for throughout his career, but I think especially when I say the words early on, I don't mean first couple of years. Obviously, this is part where in this time frame, it's like hey, he should be on a bigger part of the card. And I say I agree with you. There's some parts that he was underrated on. That should have been highlighted more, but he was used in different ways, and but he was one of the top guys, obviously. But I thought the going a little bit on a tangent here. If you go back to WrestleMania 19, Triple H and that Booker team, like that was probably the downside of like, man, why are you not giving that man his credit? Why are you not giving that man that match? And This is a different example. I'm like, I think it's hiding, right? But I just feel like he should have been a better spot, better position, better story, better position.
Agreed.
It wasn't.
Agreed. I actually would have. There's another match in the card I would actually kind of prefer to see Booker in, but we'll get to it when we get to it. But with Booker, he's a Hall of Fame entrant and whatnot, but this guy, not only was he able to do strong work in the ring, he was a great character work. So in WCW, you could tell they were trying to position him like a Rock, which is there's similarities there. But he even had a catchphrase: "Don't hate the player, hate the game." And
say the drama for your mama.
Right, he had that. He also had something that was a very memorable promo that if you ever watch any of Botchamania on YouTube, you know what that promo was, and it had something to do with Hulk Hogan. But when he came to WWF or WWE at the time, I think they were WWE already at the time, he had a little catchphrase with "Can you dig it, sucker?" or the five-time WCW champion. He had one of those things. Oh, the other thing. Oh, tell me you didn't say that, or you didn't say that. Tell me you didn't say that. That whole promo catchphrase they had got going on. And then he got over as King Booker, where he thought he was a king. And he spoke with royalty in his voice and whatnot. This guy, he definitely, to me, he should be ranked higher and one of the better wrestlers or superstars that came from WWE or even TNA, WCW. But in this his position on the card here kind of highlights it that I don't think WWE knew what they had with Booker T.
I wasn't a big fan of his TNA run, honestly. I mean, he did, it was fair for what he had, but I just wasn't a.
Well, they brought him in. They brought him in with a good amount of anticipation behind him, but he was also part of the Main Event Mafia. And honestly, the Main Event Mafia was probably up there with one of the better factions that TNA created.
Oh yeah. I mean, I understand that. I guess it just to me, I just didn't highlight him over to me. My taste buds. What I feel.
No, I get you. There's a lot to be. I mean, there was not a lot of love in terms of what Booker T did in TNA.
Yeah.
But the Main Event Mafia is definitely up there. I think, honestly, if WWE could have pulled off something similar with the same guys, it would have been amazing. The Sting, Kurt Angle, Nash, Booker T, and Scott Steiner. Which Scott Steiner would not end up there, but you know what I mean. But Heidenreich, nothing against the guy, but I was never really into him as a performer. Booker T ended up winning by disqualification. Would you end up rating this one?
Well,